Two German sportswear giants issuing...
Adidas has been running the sneaker game for a while.
Adidas.
To be a world first, the German sportswear giant Puma.
For over 75 years, we've witnessed moments that will last forever.
Doesn't it seem that Adidas and Puma are related in some way? If one has to picture out the founders, it will surely lead to similarities. So does it mean they're actually linked? Yes. You might be surprised to know that both Puma and Adidas are related company after all. So let's get into the video and know more about what led to the emergence of the two biggest shoe brand in the industry, and what are the business lessons you can learn from their venture that can help you in boosting up your businesses. Everybody knows that both Puma and Adidas are massive global brands of the shoe industry. However, not everyone knows that both companies that compete for the same audience were founded by brothers. Yes, Rudolf and Adolf Dassler, aka the Dassler Brothers. Adolf Dassler began making shoes in 1924 in his mother's kitchen after returning home from World War I. Later on, his older brother Rudolf Dassler joined him a few years later to help. The brothers' duo made a great fusion where shy Adi was the creative force and the brain behind the business, while extrovert Rudy was a salesman for the businesses. This clearly points out to a very important lesson that for one to start a new venture doesn't really require any fancy resources. One can always start with bare minimum like Adolf did in his mother's kitchen. The Dassler brothers' main goal at the early age of the company was to get their shoes on the feet of athletes. They believe if an athlete won a race while wearing their shoes, it would help them to authenticate their product. The Dassler brothers provided a number of shoes to the athletes from different nations, where major of them won Olympics, which had such a great impact that their shoes became one of the favorites among the athletes in the Olympics. Hence, this proved the Dassler shoes to be boon for the industry. Even I am quite amazed that Dassler brothers had such a great business mindset back when marketing and collaboration was even not a thing. What we see in today's world, they did in all these back early days by making their shoes wear to athletes from different nations. But even after all this, it wasn't quite the triumph it should have been, because things inside the companies were beginning to sour, which ultimately led to a split. The exact reason for the split are not entirely clear, but it is said to have been due to the combination of personal and business related issues. According to some accounts, brothers had different personalities and management styles, which led to disagreements and tension within the company, which led the feud split the Dassler Brothers shoe factory into two halves, which is today known as Adidas and Puma, the world's second and third sports shoe businesses. After the official split happened, it led to the moving of assets and employees into half, where mostly the salespeople choose to go with Rudolf, while technicians stayed with Adi, with their operation headquarters located on the opposite sides of each other. Adi renamed his business as Adidas, combining the first and last name. Rudy did the same, dubbing his name Ruda, although he later changed it to Puma. Soon most of the citizens of the town were either employed by Adidas or Puma, and the siblings' intense rivalry spread throughout the town to such an extent that if you want to be friends with someone, you had to be wearing the right shoes. Adidas people like people wearing their shoes and vice versa. Over the time, Adidas far surpassed Puma in sales thanks to Adi's creativity and technical acumen, although Puma did quite well. But while the two were hard at work competing against one another, they paid no attention to another shoe company, Nike, that was quite gaining the market share. The story of Dassler Brother actually an interesting one about how a rivalry between partners can go to such extent that can lead to emergence of two new differently things. The hard work and talent of Dassler Brothers which have been seen was unmarkable. What they have done at such a young age, and we have to credit both Rudolf and Adolf Dassler for their hard work and dedication. But this is definitely a point to think up to, that if Dassler Brothers would not have been separated, Adidas and Puma might not have been existed today. So this tells us that sometimes moving out and ending a rivalry could lead to one's best life decision, like we saw in the case of Dassler Brothers, that for them separation was the best decision for the shoe industry. Both brands were formed out of rivalry, but that led to both of them become the second and third largest company in the entire shoe industry. That's all for the video. If you found it insightful, drop a like and subscribe for more content.